Hey everybody, this is Perch. For whatever reason, there's been a growing chorus over the last like couple weeks of people who are wanting to let me know. They're trying to help out. It's like help a brother out. They're wanting to let me know. Am I aware that there's a culture war going on? And I'm aware because you know it feels like 25 to 40% of the comments are referencing that culture war, and I do read them. So I'm aware. I'm aware that this is a thing. So rest easy, peace of mind. I'm on it. I see it. I think that the challenge with the quote unquote culture war is that I feel like most people are fighting it dumb. And when I say this, I mean they're letting the culture war become the priority over their own personal mental, health and enjoyment. When I say mental health, by the way, I'm not saying you're crazy, or I'm not making a comment about mental illness or mental health or anything like that. I'm meaning your own personal satisfaction. It's probably a better way to put it. Your own enjoyment. At the end of the day, and this is the advice I give you. You can take this as like dad talking. I'm not trying to set myself up as being comic books dad. I see more and more people referencing that as well. It's like Perch is like the dad of comics. It's like, gee, well, you didn't say grandpa, so thanks for that. But at least I don't want to be a dad of comics. I got my hands full with two girls that are gonna get into their teenage years and absolutely wreck my entire life. So I mean, anyway, I what I mean by this is the advice though. So I'll be dad. I'll submit. The advice I give you, and it's one I've given before, is you got to enjoy whatever it is you're doing. And if what you enjoy the most is kind of dunking on other people and making mischief and yelling at and folks and doxing them or whatever it is, if that's what you enjoy the most, then you've gone to the dark side. Whether you're a creator, whether you're a customer, whether you're anybody. I mean, a lot of people complain about creators being toxic and insane, and I think there is behavior that certainly falls into that. But don't respond like I'll see you're crazy and I'll raise you 10. Don't be that guy. Don't match the crazy. I think for a lot of people in just society, there is this idea that if the other person's doing it, then that gives me permission to do it. And I mean, it's the call again, old fashioned statement, but the two wrongs don't make a right. Just because somebody else is doing this, and this is something, of course, I have to tell my children on a regular basis. If just because someone else is being a lunatic doesn't mean you now are justified in being a lunatic. I think this is the big problem we have bluntly in this culture war, is that too much of people's actions are based on you did it, so therefore I am now justified to do it. Some crazy lunatic, racist, terrible person over here did some terrible racist thing, so therefore I am justified in burning down that person's house. It's like, no, arson's still a crime, whether you're doing it against a nice person or a mean person or whoever it is. That really doesn't matter. Arson is arson. That's how laws work. And I know there's a number of people who get very surprised when they're like, wait a minute, you're arresting me, but I was going after the baddies. It's like, yeah, but you don't get to go after the baddies. You're not, you are not the punisher. And then justice is also not applied fairly too. That's true, and it sucks. I do think fair should be fair. But at the end of the day, what you should do, this is again my advice to you, take it or leave it, make sure you're enjoying something that is actually healthy. And when I say healthy, I mean, this is a comic book channel, so make sure you're enjoying comic books. There are a lot of comic books out there. One of the reasons, on every front, by the way, if you didn't realize it, this is the common thread here. Whether I'm doing a retrospective on an old book or talking about a new book I like, or doing an interview with a creator, and the ones I love the most are the creators who are lesser known. I absolutely love the fact that Rachel Pollack, we're able to talk to Rachel for an hour and a half, and a lot of people don't know Rachel. So it's my hope is that I'm dangling various things out here for you, that you will find one you like, grab onto it, and your life's a little better. That is the goal. I'm not making money off your purchases. When I go say you should check out Erratic because I like it, doesn't mean you need to. I'm not getting a cut off that. But this way, Kari Andrews not sliding me money under the table for saying I think that title's good. When I say I like what Jeff Thorne's doing with Green Lantern, I'm getting nothing off Jeff Thorne. No milkshakes, no cash in an envelope, nothing, absolutely nothing. Nobody's. Skeet Skaros gave me a big wad of cash for Post Americana. No, I'm kidding. He didn't either. So these are just things I like, and I don't expect you're going to like all those, but you need to ground yourself in something you enjoy, because the second that you lose track of that, I think you become adrift, and that's when I say I think a lot of people are fighting culture war wrong. It's that in order to fight a fight or make progress or win a struggle or whatever it has to be, you have to be grounded by what you're fighting for. You have to have very clear in your mind, you need to be reminded of it. And this is a comic book trope, by the way. Plenty of Captain America comics, go into this exact statement. Spider-Man as well. Lots of Marvel and DC books and others will remind people that, you gotta remember what it is you're fighting for. You can't just fight for the fight. And my issue, I would say, when I see people fighting the culture war, is that it feels like they've lost track of what it is we're fighting about. They're bad people over there, and we dunk on them and make them pay and burn it all down and all the rest. That to me is self-defeating. You got to remember what it is you're trying to, why you got started in this in the first place. I think there's also, and this is one of those where it doesn't feel satisfying when I say this out loud, but it will feel satisfying to you if you try it. And that is the absolute fastest, best way to make sure you are healthy and good and consuming stuff you like, and, hurt your enemies, is to, give them zero attention. It's why people have said mute is more powerful than block in a lot of cases. If you see a comic book you don't like, if somebody is a abhorrent behavior, doing bad things, whatever it happens to be, don't buy their comic. Don't give it press. Don't give it attention. Make it a non-entity. And in doing that, you accomplish two goals simultaneously. Number one, you're not making yourself mad. You're reserving your precious time for something you enjoy. And you're giving no money, no funding, no attention to other people's works. And right now, the comic industry is fragile in the sense that there's a lot of comics that are just barely making by. We know this is true of creators too. There's a lot of creators who are really not making a lot of money in this business, including people that get talked about all the time. They're as we obsess sometimes over why is this person getting handed book after book after book? They didn't earn it. Well, they're not really getting paid much either. Page rate is pretty terrible. One of the key reasons why they're being handed book after book after book is they're cheap. And so they're not really making a great living. And the only thing that's going to prolong their, activity is, frankly, attention. If they can get attention, they can get a bit of a name, they can get people giving them jobs because they feel sorry for them, it's going to prolong their time in this industry. I'm not saying, because every time I say it, people are like, you can't just ignore. Well, you can, by the way. That's not a terrible strategy. But I'm not actually asking you to ignore. I'm asking you to prioritize yourself. Make sure you are happy. Whatever it is that makes you happy, that you read, make sure you're hitting that before you get into all the anger and go out with your torch and fight the battle. I was told the other day that when you use that, when I say go get your torch, what I'm thinking about is storming Frankenstein's castle. I'm old school that way. I'm not thinking about tiki torches in Charleston, but apparently if you say get your torch, it's a coded message somehow. I hate this world we live in. I hate this nonsense. Go out there and make sure that you're reading and enjoying stuff you like, because if you don't do that and you're just fighting for the sake of fighting, it's easy to lose track of what you're fighting for, and it's easy to make zero progress. And this advice is true of creators. It's true of customers. It's true of everybody. I did the video a while back of a creator who said, I know everybody's attacking me, but then you couldn't find any tweets of anybody attacking the person. So they kind of got ready for a fight that didn't come. That's defeating. It caused that person to, potentially overlook mountains and mountains of praise. Like if I got that kind of praise on something I did, I'd feel really good about myself. I'd go out and I'd get myself a bottle of whiskey and I'd drink until I forgot all that praise, and then I'd read it a second time and feel good a second time. That's what I would do. I think if you're so concerned about the baddies coming to get you, you wind up missing a lot of pretty cool stuff that goes on, and that's a shame because I think if people are more happy and confident, frankly, I think some of this would go away. I do believe that a lot of this culture war is from people who are have a lack of self confidence. I definitely see that on the creator side, and I think sometimes that bleeds into the customers as well. Just find stuff you like, appreciate that you got it, read it and enjoy it, recommend it to others, and let that be the focus of your attention. And you are actually fighting the culture war, I think, far more effectively than other approaches. But that's just my advice. But rest easy, folks. I'm aware. I'm aware. You can stop telling me now that I'm forgetting the culture war, or I know what's going on. Trust me. I see the tweets. It's all good. I just I think this culture war needs to be fought differently. That's my point. Anyway, there you go. Comics. Who loves comics? Thanks for listening.